Oh yeah. Do you think be comfortable?
Thank you, sir. Yo. Alright, so let me get straight to it, man. Cause goddamn. First of all, I want to address members only as a whole because I understand how the perception is, and perception is everything. So I'll get to your questions. I'll start answering your questions later. So I understand how perception is, and perception is everything. But I'll start off with members only first, as a whole, as a group. For everybody out there who is just genuinely concerned about members only, because I know a lot of niggas just talking shit to talk shit, but whoever is just genuinely concerned about members only, we are fine. We okay. I still get my little million monthly listeners on Spotify, bitch. Fucking Steven just had his second son, Wilgens, still being Wilgens. Will just opened up his studio, Will and Vinny. We got a whole studio now. Shit is good on our end. We're good. This brings me to thing number, that's just for anybody that was worried about us. Shit's not the same, of course. The only thing that's different, honestly, is Instagram. You feel me? Instagram ain't the same as it used to be, whatever. But in life, personally, shit is good. And I want this to be a message to Trunks too. Because I need him to understand this, okay? Alright, so the second situation is we'll get to Trunks. Trunks is no longer 15, 16 years old, where we could keep him in the house, take his phone from him, tell him he not going to this place, monitor the people that's in his life. That's number one. He's no longer a child. Number two, because of the way this music industry dynamic works and the amount of following that Trunks has access to certain people in his life that we don't have access to. You understand me? So, at the end of the day, when Trunks feels like we trying to be too much of a father, or we trying to little bro him, or so and so, the last thing he did was he got up and he moved out of the house. And that wasn't a knock on us. At the end of the day, that's little bro, but at the end of the day, you're a grown man, so I gotta respect your mind as a grown man. But this is a message for any of those other friends out there in Trunks' life that we don't have access to. If you love him and care about him the way that we love him and care about him, what you should do is learn to tell him no the same way we tell him no. Because when we tell him no, and he runs off to you guys, and this is a direct message to you if you come across this live, when we tell him no to certain things, and then he goes to you guys and you guys encourage it because you feel like certain people might feel like he's their way out, certain people might just not be aware of what's going on with him personally in life, and so I can't even blame y'all for that, but I'm just sending this message out right now. Learn to tell Trunks no. Okay? That leads me into the third thing. Trunks' actual health situation. What's going on right? And hold on, before I go any further, I want y'all to understand I'm not making up any excuses for Trunks' actions. What Trunks is doing, to me, is lame as shit, and I'll admit it to him, but to Trunks himself is not the end-all, be-all of your life, and I want you to understand that, and I'm saying that for a reason. Read between the lines. I'm saying that for a fucking reason, and if you understand it, you understand it. But I want Trunks to know. So what if I sound emotional? It's an emotional situation. I shouldn't sound unemotional. It's my little brother we talking about. But to go forward, to bring us to the third situation, Trunks' actual medical situation from what I know. Trunks was initially sent to the hospital because of seizures and an overdose. Alright? While Trunks was in the hospital, we were not allowed to see him because he had COVID. Those were the things that we were initially told. Those are the things that we know. Trunks was in a medically, and I want to use the right term, Trunks was in a medically induced coma. I believe that was. Those are the things that we know to be a fact. Alright? When Trunks woke up, like I said, I'm not taking any of the blame away from him, but whoever gave him his phone should not have given him his phone. Nobody in members only was there. Nobody gave him his phone. When we would call the hospital, we were not allowed to see Trunks. None of us gave him his phone. None of us would have given him his phone. That's what I meant to say. Whoever gave Trunks his phone That was the first fucking mistake right there. Secondly, I just found out yesterday, because Trunks admitted it to me himself. A few weeks later, he snitched on himself to me, and I had a word with him about it. But I just found out yesterday that while he was in the hospital, somebody was also sneaking in the same drugs that he overdosed for. Now, all of us, I could be a hypocrite. You could label me a hypocrite all you want, because I do my drugs and I love my drugs, but I was never in that situation. You could say that I'm not leading by example. I understand that. I'll take that wholeheartedly as a man. I get that. But whenever he asks me for some shit, my initial reaction and my reaction that I will always stand on with him is no. You're not getting it. Okay. So whoever was bringing him the same shit while he was in the hospital, that he was overdosed in the hospital recovering from, I want you to know that you were the reason for the brain hemorrhage. That's another medical situation that actually happened. Now, when it comes to this capping and the clout chasing, that's on him as a man, and he has to accept that, but he has to understand that this isn't the end-all, be-all of his life. And I say that to say this. I do understand the situation that you in, lil' bro, and I did some research, and I do understand that a lot of people that's in that mental situation, their final actions can come off as attention-seeking or whatever the case may be. I do want specifically one person to know that you enabling him. You trying to lie to us on the phone, telling us that somebody shot Trunks in the face and then you shot him in the back of the head. And that, nigga, we know you capping. You're not shooting nobody. You're not shooting shit. That situation never happened. You lied to us for him. And if you are his friend and if you love him the way that you say, because apparently every time we don't give him his own way and he come to you, you try to use that against us to make it seem like we don't care about Trunks. So to you, I'm speaking to you directly, because I know you're going to see this too. I'm not going to call your name. I want you to understand that if you was his brother, you would have told him, Trunks, this is a stupid ass idea. You would have said that. Point blank, plain and simple. At the end of the day, like I said, Trunks is no longer 17, 16, 15. He is no longer a child. We can't tell him what to do. We can't take his phone from him. We can't control the people that's in and out of his life. So I want to send out a personal message to all of those people that's in Trunks' life that we don't have access to, that we do care about our little brother. We do love our little brother. But you guys got to understand, if you love him too, you got to learn to tell the man no. You got to learn to tell the man no. Trunks, we still willing to help you. Pick up the phone. Call me back. We still willing to help you. But you have to be willing to help yourself. Understand that this is not the end-all, be-all of your life. I want y'all to know, members only as a group, we still stand strong together. Regardless of what your perception is of us, that has no effect on our reality. Whoever's left in this bitch, including the niggas behind the scenes that most of the fans never really gave a fuck about, we still stand tall and we still stand strong together. But I need everybody to just have a certain understanding. And I'm not telling y'all to change y'all opinions on Trunks. You're allowed to feel however you want to feel. You're allowed to criticize however you want to criticize. We all have our platforms, and that's what y'all want to use it for. You can do that. But this is my direct message to Trunks, and my direct message to the people in this life that we don't have access to, and my direct message to one person specifically. If you're bringing a person in drugs in the hospital while they're recovering from an overdose, nigga, you either afraid of that person, you pussy, or you just trying to see that person die. So when it comes to everything else, now I'll start answering questions, because I know y'all got questions. So I'll try to be as open and as genuine as motherfucking possible. Point blank, plain and simple. I have no answers for why he did what he did. I'm not going to blame it on his mental condition. I'm not going to blame it on his critical condition. I don't even know if I use the right terminology, but I do know that he is a young man that is dealing with some issues. He does, instead of being out here, what he actually needs to do is he needs to be taking his health seriously, because something can happen. Something can happen. And I feel he's obsessed with the fact that something can happen, and he's allowing that to seep over into the public. And I want y'all to know, from the beginning, when he was first admitted into the hospital, members only always wanted to deal with the situation secretly, But because of his actions, we have. It doesn't matter, and everybody who bringing in the X would be pissed, X would be this, X would be that. X wouldn't be able to do anything because at the end of the day, Trunks is a grown man. We can't control his actions. What about the cancer situation? I don't know for certain that there's a cancer situation. I don't know that. All I know for certain was he had an overdose. The situation where he said that he got shot, no. He had another seizure and he fell flat on his motherfucking face. That's what happened. So he did not get shot. I know that for a fact. He did not get shot. He had another seizure and he fell flat on his face. What I need y'all to understand is the repetitive things that are happening. Y'all are seeing it from the lies that he put out. We're seeing it from the truth that's actually going on. The reality of the matter is the man needs to get his health in check because he's going to keep on having these seizures. And Trunks, I want you to understand this. You're going to keep on having these seizures if you keep on doing the same things that you do. Like I said, I could be called a hypocrite. We all do our own drugs. But when I go to the doctor and the doctor tell me to stop doing certain shit, I stop doing certain shit. That's the message that I'm trying to get across. Point blank. Trunks talking to some weird industry niggas. You think, look, at the end of the day, nobody could look at a man and just know exactly what he's going through. So if Trunks is around certain people and he acting a certain way and he doing certain things that they're doing and they already doing it, they don't know to tell him no. I'm making this live to tell those people that if you actually care about Trunks, learn to tell him no. What about the brain hemorrhage? It was described to me as a stroke. All right? It was described to me as a stroke. But that happened after. Because while he was in the hospital recovering, he was still doing the same shit. And he was in a hospital bed, so he wasn't getting up and going and getting it for himself. That's what I'm telling you. Read in between the line. You think Trunks, he did not get shot. And yes, it was for clout. There is no hiding behind that. There is no finding, no excuses for his actions. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's more than just a young nigga looking for clout. I feel like it's more of an emotional and a mental situation that's going on, especially the fact that, yes, even though these things that he telling y'all are lies, his life is at risk. But the good news is his life is at risk, but it's in his hands. It's in his control. There's certain things that he just needs to cut out of his diet and he'll be good. So yes, his life is at risk. He did duck life twice. It was 2 seizures, an overdose. They were near-death experiences for him, but it just didn't go down the way that he's trying to. Because my best bet, I think he feels that if he tells y'all that he has a drug problem, y'all just going to be like, well, nigga, quit. So he has to try to make up these things in his head to keep y'all entertained, whatever he feel like it's his, like he feel like it's his job to keep y'all entertained, keep y'all, no. None of that matters right now. Trunks, what matters is your health and being around the right people and being around people who's going to tell you no when you need to hear no. So literally, I need you to pick up the phone when I call you, when I get off of this live. Why does he keep trying to kill him? You can't ask a person that. What you need to do is you just need to, if you want to be there, because look, after the lung cancer situation is not, look, I know way too many niggas that got shot and died from it, and my grandfather died from lung cancer. So if you want to hate Trunks, I understand that 150%. But if you want to be there for him, or if you want to have an understanding of what's going on with him mentally, if you're in that group of people, just show him love. That's what he needs right now. Show him love, but also be real. I'm not telling you to alienate him. I'm not telling you to push him to the side. What I'm telling you is to, especially those around you, those of you who are around him personally, to just be real with him. Let him know. I feel like everybody just has this thing where it's like, Members only has this bad reputation. Everybody left the group as soon as they got 100,000 followers. I understand all of that shit. Motherfuckers don't want to read in between the lines. Don't read in between the lines. But it's so easy to make niggas in a vulnerable spot believe that we don't care about them just because we practice tough love. It's very easy for us to do that. It's very easy for people on the outside to do that to us. It happens time and time again. I'm telling you, Will has taken care of us from the very beginning. Will was around when it was just X and Ski. It was X, Ski, and Will. Will was just behind the scenes, so it didn't fucking matter. If Will could get Ski to where he was before he moved up, if Will could get X to where he was before he moved up, if Will could get Trunks to where he was, and if he could keep us all safe, why the fuck you think I'm still over here with Will? He keeps us safe. He keeps us right. When I'm tripping, niggas tell me I'm tripping, and everybody know I'm famous for tripping. Niggas hold me accountable. The only thing is I don't run away. And Trunks, I'm not calling you anything. All I'm saying is this isn't a time when you need to run away from us. This is a time when you need us more than ever. Drugs are extremely hard to quit. Hell yeah. Is Trunks aware of the fact? I'm pretty sure he's aware of that fact by now. I wouldn't be making this live if he wasn't aware of that by now. He has to be aware of it. Would you ever forgive Trunks? I forgive him completely. What I'm saying is it's time for you to accept our help. I know this live is about Trunks, but what happened to Tankhead? I have no statement on that. He might be going through a very hard time usually. Yeah, look, I'm telling you, bro. Look. This Instagram shit is toxic. And that's a part of the addiction. Like I say, taking his phone away from him was an important part of everything. But that's a part of the addiction. At the end of the day, we all got to know when to let go of this app sometimes and just focus on our life. Do you fuck with me? But that's not what it's about. I'm not. Y'all still members only at the end of the day, right? Hell yeah, we still family at the end of the day. Look, it doesn't matter what happens publicly, y'all. Like, public perception is everything in music, but it has no effect on reality. You understand what I'm saying? The reality of the matter is, he needs help. He needs help in whenever. Look, the other day, Trunks asked me for some lean and some Adderall, and I told him no. And then his next statement was, but you do them? And I'm like, yeah, but I never had an overdose. And he was chilling with me that whole day, but that night, he found a way to leave and get what he wanted. If you know how this shit works, you know that it's not always easy to stop people from doing what the fuck they want to do. We all watched the fucking Juice WRLD interview. We all watched the Juice WRLD documentary, and I'm by no means comparing Trunks to Juice WRLD. Fuck no, I'm not doing that at all. But when it comes to drug addiction, is a serious thing. We all go through it, but his is seeping over into the public, so now we have to be public as well. But we've been battling it for a little minute with ourselves, but mostly with him. But at this point, I feel like this is a breaking point, and this is the time when I want him to understand that we're not reaching out to criticize you. We're not reaching out to alienate you. I know I tweeted the other day that I need to separate, and I was just pissed off because of the shot being somebody I knew got shot that very day. You know what I mean? So I was pissed off about that. But I want Trunks to understand that as your brother, I am here for you. I do love you. This is not the end-all, be-all of everything. Your lowest point as an artist is still a point where half of these niggas commenting under your posts could only dream of and to be in their life. So it all depends on how you handle yourself during your lowest points. And that's what I want you to understand. Yes, he definitely needs a break from social media, and I feel like this is the time when it's going to happen. You guys should go in homeless shelter and see how they really... Let me tell y'all something about... That's another thing that y'all don't know. Members only... Well, you should know this because you still active with me. We pass out food damn near every month. We feed 80 to 100 people damn near every month. Go out and get the polio, tropical. We just don't post it all the time, but damn near every month. We give back to the community damn near every month. So you don't have to tell us about that. I understand how people are living. Trust me, we understand. Definitely understand. They let us into the crack spot one time to feed the people. Niggas was at the front garden that bitch, and everybody was in that bitch shooting theyself up. And half of them wasn't eating hungry. We just left the food with them. So we know how this shit is. why do you think certain artists try to glorify drug use in order to gain a following? It isn't glorifying drug usage in order to gain a following. It will always appear as if it's glorifying, but it's really begging for help. Let me tell you something. I can express my demons on these songs better than I can express myself to another person. Nobody wants to hear about my pain, especially when it's self-inflicted. Nobody in my life gives a fuck about that. But on these songs, they do. A lot of things that y'all think of as glorifying is really more or less a cry for help. Let's be 100% real. A nigga would be on the song like, I just lost all my homies, I don't know, I feel so alone. And y'all be like, damn, that shit hitting. Like, do you not hear what the nigga is saying? He's not glorifying shit. He's telling you he just lost all his dogs and damn, he feels so alone. Nigga telling you sipping this lean every day I might die. A nigga is literally telling you sipping this lean every day I might die. Niggas is not glorifying shit. Niggas is dead ass in these lyrics like, I'm a junkie. You think like y'all really need to read between the lines, bro. Wish the suicide tapes were seen by everyone. It doesn't matter who sees them. It's there for the people that need to, you know? That's how it is. Off topic, my mom and dads are addicts and I'm 16 and I used to sip. I quit because I seen how fucked up. And you know what, bro? You strong for that because that lean shit is liquid heroin, bro. That shit is addictive. That shit addictive. It tastes good and I was just sipping some last night, so I understand. But at the end of the day, if you have a medical problem that's starting to interfere with your life, that's when you need to make a change. All right. As far as I'm concerned, hopefully everybody have a understanding of what's going on. It is what it is. But if you are genuinely worried about us, I want you to know that we are doing fine. We just need Trunks back with us. That's all we need. And we need Trunks to understand that certain people, Trunks, I need you to understand that if certain people loved you and cared about you, they would tell you no. The same way I told you no, and you looked me in the eyes and you was like, damn, I gotta respect that. They should do the same thing. So if that's not the case, then, bum, you should understand. None of this shit should have ever seeped over to the internet. None of it should have ever seeped over into any of this, but I want you to understand. Regardless of what happened, we got your back. Hit me back up. Be willing to help you, but you have to be willing to help yourself too. We can't force you to do anything. You are a grown-ass man, and we respect that. But your actions have an effect on all of us. And you have more control and you are stronger than you think you are. That's the best that I could say. And hopefully after this he answers his phone. But as for everybody else, if anybody knows anybody that's going through shit like this, I'm more than happy to read your DMs. Because, you know what I mean? It's different. Like, when we was dealing with Jaw's energy, he was more of an aggressive person, so it was easy because he likes confrontation. Trunks does not like confrontation. So it's a difference. But I want him to understand, again, Trunks, we love you. And for everybody else out there that's surrounded by Trunks, if you love him the same way that we love him, or if you love him the way that you represent it to him, learn to tell him no the same way that we do. And that's all I got to say about that.